We are going to talk about 7 shocking foods to avoid when you have cucumbers to prevent cancer dementia. So in my practice, I had a lot of patients who were eating cucumbers, and I'll tell you why I don't recommend cucumbers for certain people. But first, I want to go over these 7 foods because they're not just bad to eat with cucumbers, but they're also bad for your health. And if you have cancer or dementia, you definitely want to avoid these 7 foods. Food number 1 is dairy products, especially fermented dairy products like yogurt, kefir. You know, some people say that, oh, you can eat cucumbers and dairy together because it helps your digestion. Not true. The bacteria in those fermented dairy products can actually block the absorption of vitamin D from the cucumber. And if you're deficient in vitamin D, you're going to have poor bone health. You're also going to have poor immune function, and you might even develop autoimmune disorders. Now in my practice, I found that people who ate cucumbers with yogurt often complained of having digestive problems like bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and even stomach pain. If you want to eat yogurt, okay, you know it's got protein and calcium, but make sure you consume it by itself, not with cucumbers. The next food to avoid with cucumbers is beans, especially the kidney beans. Kidney beans have a toxin called phytohemagglutinin. This toxin causes red blood cells to clump together, and this condition is called rouleau formation. Rouleau formation can cause microclots, which can block oxygen and nutrients to your organs and tissues. This can lead to chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and other forms of dementia. Now, I'm not telling you never to eat beans. Beans are good for you. Just don't combine them with cucumbers. In fact, there's another vegetable that you should avoid combining with cucumbers, and that is potatoes. You know, I remember one time in my practice that I had a patient come in, and he was complaining of stomach pain, burping, bloating, and he told me that he was eating potato salad almost every day. Well, when I asked him what was in the potato salad, he said, well, cucumbers and onions and eggs. And so we decided to remove the cucumbers and see what happened. And within a few days, his symptoms cleared up. So why would potatoes be bad to combine with cucumbers? Potatoes are loaded with a chemical called solanine. Solanine is toxic to the nervous system, and it interferes with the absorption of potassium, magnesium, and even vitamin C from your cucumbers. Now, did you know that cucumbers are an excellent source of potassium? They have more potassium than bananas. They also have more magnesium than spinach. And cucumbers are one of the best sources of vitamin C. So if you don't want to be deficient in potassium, magnesium, and vitamin C, don't combine cucumbers with potatoes. Another food to avoid when you're consuming cucumbers is corn. Corn has a chemical called azine. Azine binds to certain minerals and prevents them from being absorbed. What minerals does it bind to? It binds to zinc, iron, and even copper. So, let's say you're trying to eat healthy and you're trying to consume corn because you think it's a whole grain. Well, if you combine it with cucumbers, you're really not going to absorb the minerals and the nutrition from those cucumbers. And cucumbers are a great source of zinc, iron, and copper. So, if you want to enjoy your corn, that's fine. Just don't combine it with cucumbers. And by the way, the combination of cucumbers and tomatoes is probably one of the most common food combinations in salads. But did you know that tomatoes are acidic? Tomatoes can actually destroy the beneficial bacteria in your small intestine. Okay? This can cause leaky gut syndrome. It can also create inflammation. And cucumbers do not grow well in acidic soils. So if you're trying to consume both of them, you're not going to get the full benefits of either food. So my suggestion is, if you want to eat tomatoes, eat them by themselves. If you want to eat cucumbers, eat them by themselves. Another food to avoid with cucumbers is citrus fruits like oranges, limes, lemons. Why? Because the acid in these fruits can interfere with the absorption of certain nutrients from the cucumbers, especially potassium, magnesium, and even zinc. Now, I'm not telling you never to combine these two foods, but if you want to get the full benefits of both, it's probably better to eat them separately. For example, if you're going to eat an orange, eat the entire orange, including the peel. Don't squeeze the juice out of the orange and then throw the peel away because the peel has a lot of good fiber in it. But if you're going to eat cucumbers, eat the whole cucumber. Don't squeeze the juice out of the cucumber and then throw the rest of the cucumber away. The peel has a lot of good nutrients in it, so you want to respect the package that nature has given us: the peel, the seed, the fruit, the leaves. Try not to separate those things unless you have a very good reason why. So if you want to eat citrus fruits and cucumbers, make sure you eat them separately. Now, the next food to avoid with cucumbers is refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, biscuits, waffles, pancakes, muffins. Refined carbohydrates are made from processed grains which have been stripped of their nutrients. This means that they do not contain the natural vitamins and minerals that are found in whole grains. Not only that, but refined carbs cause blood sugar spikes, which can lead to weight gain, inflammation, insulin resistance, and eventually type 2 diabetes. So if you want to combine cucumbers with something, try combining them with some healthy fats like avocados, extra virgin olive oil, raw nuts, and seeds. Healthy fats will help you absorb certain nutrients from the cucumbers. Also, they'll help stabilize your blood sugars. So the last food to avoid with cucumbers is alcohol. Alcohol is a diuretic, which means it increases urine production. This can lead to dehydration, especially if you're consuming alcoholic beverages with cucumbers because cucumbers are hydrating. They have a lot of water in them. Alcohol can interfere with the absorption of certain nutrients from the cucumbers, and alcohol consumption can lead to liver damage and even certain types of cancer. So if you want to enjoy cucumbers, make sure you don't combine them with alcohol. In my practice, I had a lot of patients who were eating cucumbers and complaining of different symptoms like stomach pain, bloating, and even fatigue. When I questioned them further about what they were combining the cucumbers with, I noticed a pattern that most of them were combining cucumbers with at least one of the 8 foods that I talked about today. So based on my experience, I've developed a list of 8 foods that you should not combine with cucumbers. Of course, I'm not telling you to completely avoid these foods. They can be part of a healthy diet, but you should consume them separately from cucumbers to get the maximum benefit from both foods. Now, since we're talking about cucumbers, there's another video I created on the benefits of cucumbers that you should watch next. I put the link up here and I put the link down below in the description. Check it out after this video. Also, if you're enjoying my content, which I hope you are, and you're applying this knowledge to your health and you have a success, I would really appreciate you sharing your success story. So click the link down below where you can upload your success story so you can help inspire others. Hey, before you go, if you're benefiting from any of this content, please share your success story to help inspire others. The link is down below.